When I made this channel, I told myself I would never touch on politics or religion. I basically wanted to be Isaac Butterfield, but without that content. Maybe closer to a Joe Santagato or a Jenna Marbles. You'll notice most of the content I talk about is really silly, stupid, and lighthearted. And what's more lighthearted than cartoons? Or so I thought, because people can't seem to handle them these days. Over the past few years, I can think of a few iconic and classic characters who have been removed because of public outcry. And because of this is probably the most political video I'll make, simply because I think cancel culture is stupid. That could be its own video, but I'm not sure I'll ever make that one, and if I do, that's for way, way down the road and another time. So let's keep the focus on the cartoons. It was announced that Pepe Le Pew won't be featured in the new Space Jam movie. The reason being is he glorifies rape culture. When Dave Chappelle joked about this 21 years ago in Killing Them Softly, it was just that, a joke. Pepe Le Pew, the skunk in a kid's cartoon, isn't a rapist. He was a gross little French rodent who would hit on a cat, and the cat wanted nothing to do with him because she wasn't a skunk, and ew, he stinks. If you think he was trying to rape her in a kid's cartoon, that says a lot more about you than Looney Tunes. Besides, Space Jam is a movie about basketball. The first time I ever heard or saw Pepe Le Pew was when I saw the first Space Jam as a little kid, and all he did in that movie was play basketball. 2 points. So you're going to remove a cartoon skunk from a movie about basketball because of an old cartoon he was in 70 years ago. Bugs Bunny was in actual racist cartoons in the 1940s. Don't believe me? Look up all this in Rabbit Stew. Should they remove Bugs Bunny from Space Jam because of an 80-year-old cartoon? No, that would be stupid. On that premise alone, we'd have to cancel all of the Looney Tunes, and then Space Jam 2 would just get scrapped. This isn't the first time this sort of thing has happened either. Let's talk about Apu Nahasapima Petalon, the lovable convenience store owner from The Simpsons. In 2017, there was a documentary called The Problem with Apu. In this documentary, an Indian American comedian complained that Apu was a negative stereotype. He argued that this could be a motivation for bullying. First off, do you know who else is a negative stereotype in The Simpsons? Every character. Every single character in that show is a negative stereotype of some sort. There's a lot of foreign stereotypes. Groundskeeper Willie, Luigi, Bumblebee Man, the list goes on. Even if they're not foreign stereotypes, you still have basic character archetypes throughout the whole show. The geeky, neurotic scientist. The greedy billionaire. The uptight, stern educator, the town drunk, they're all there. The Simpsons uses the simplicity of these characters to mold them into whatever they want, and that makes the show brilliant. And as far as Springfield goes, Apu is one of the more respectable people. He has a PhD, he owns his own business, he works relentless hours to support his wife and 8 kids. He also tolerates Homer better than half the people in that show, despite Homer's ignorance and stupidity. I can't speak for everyone, but every South Asian person I know thinks the whole controversy surrounding Apu is stupid and even likes that character. Sure, he's a cheapskate who sells expired food and jacks the prices up, but every character has to have a flaw in that show. If he didn't have a flaw, there'd be no conflict and it wouldn't work. And him being a shyster has nothing to do with his ethnicity. If you want to jump to that conclusion, that isn't on The Simpsons. Second thing, the idea that this motivates bullying. Bullies don't need a character to use as a reference to bully someone. When I was in high school, kids used to say I looked like a lanky, pale, ugly alien. Now let's pretend science fiction didn't exist, so they would have no idea what an alien looked like. Bullies are gonna bully. They just would have called me something else. Apu not existing isn't going to make some mean kid suddenly nice. Now, some people were thinking, well, he's an Indian being voiced by an American and made to look silly. Imagine if that happened to you. How would you feel? I'm here to tell you that it has happened to me. Let's talk about two of my favorite characters, Terrence and Phillip. I am Canadian, and Terrence and Phillip are two Canadians written by Americans, voiced by Americans, who do nothing but laugh and fart and act like imbeciles. And I absolutely love it because I can actually critically think and enjoy satire. Well, that's completely different. You would never have someone come up to you and imitate Terrence and Phillip who didn't know you. What if I told you not once, but twice when I was visiting Japan, that happened? At a convention, a Japanese man, when I told him I was from Canada, went, "South Park? Blame Canada?" And then the next day at a sporting event, I met a group of kids from California. And I swear on my life, this next exchange happened. Upon telling him that I was from Canada, without knowing me, his first response was, "Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker!" I don't even know this American kid, and he just told me to shut my face and imply that I fucked my uncle, and it was hilarious, and I gave him a hug. And Terrence and Phillip are far more stupid and shameful than Apu, and I don't want them banned. There's also been talks of trying to get rid of Speedy Gonzales. What if I told you they already tried that and it didn't work? In 1999, the Cartoon Network removed all cartoons involving Speedy Gonzales because they thought it might be a negative Mexican caricature. Guess what country friggin' loved Speedy Gonzales? That's right, Mexico. So in 2004, because so many Mexican people complained that Speedy wasn't on TV, they brought him back because Mexican people love Speedy Gonzales. It was white Americans complaining on behalf of Mexicans to get rid of a character they loved. So stop the public outcry over cartoons. This isn't a Dr. Seuss situation where the Seuss family themselves decided to scrap the books, or a Hasbro situation with Potato Head where they decided to change the name of the brand but still have Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Unlike those changes, these cartoon changes are the result of public outcry. And sadly, sometimes the mob wins. In 2019, Hank Azaria did step down from voicing Apu due to the backlash. Now, it's your right to be offended. We all have the right to be offended. Personally, I'm offended by Jersey Shore and Glee. I think Jersey Shore glorifies a really terrible type of behavior. And I think Glee is just an offense to music. But when these shows were on, I didn't want them banned because I didn't like them. Here's an expert piece of advice. You don't like something? Don't watch it. That simple. It's the technique I've always used, and it's worked pretty well. Also, if you have time to worry about a cartoon skunk or cartoon convenience store owner, I envy you. If those are your problems, you've won at life. So if you have time to be offended by Pepe Le Pew, or Apu, or Speedy Gonzales, I don't think the problem is the cartoons. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments below. And don't be afraid to disagree. I encourage all open discussion. And no, I won't cancel you because I'm an adult. If you haven't already, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at TransomTrav. And if you like this video, share it. And if you hated this video, share it so you and your friends can make fun of it. Take care.